In my last video of scenery update, I said I was going to do something with that block of polystyrene there, which I got out of a packing case. And I said I was going to continue that little forest along there. Now that's what I'm going to do, but I have to tell you that if Mark Towan, I think that's how you pronounce his name, if he could see how I'm going to do it, he'd probably cringe, because he is extremely good at making dioramas. Now, I can reach over there, but it's a bit awkward to do all the detail work, so I'm going to make it on the bench in such a way that I can place it back in there by hand. So I'm starting off with two pieces of cardboard, and I'm going to stick them together so that they are the same length as the piece of polystyrene. Right, well, with that done, I now placed a piece of cardboard there, and I'm going to try and mark where the track goes so that I can cut it off so it fits just behind the track. And that seems to be not too bad. Now I need to see where the polystyrene is going to sit on the cardboard, so I can mark that off and then stick the polystyrene to the cardboard. And to do that, I'm going to try using a hot glue gun. So we'll see if I can get it down quickly enough before it goes off. So that's about right there. Seems I've got it. Now where it's going to fill up against that tunnel entrance, that's sort of grey stone walling there, and here we have a vertical surface, so I think there ought to be a little bit of stone walling along here. So we'll do that. So I'll just take a piece of this cardboard, which was the offcut from the other piece, and we'll put it on there, and we'll take the stone wall to about there, I reckon. And it's got to be that sort of height there. So we'll cut that off and just crack in with that. That's 1 3/4 inches. 1 3/4 inches there. Up there. Mark that off. And then we'll make it on a slope like that a little bit. Okay. I'll cut that out. Well, now we stick that on there. And that gives our vertical wall. So I will give the wall a bit of a capping, so a piece of old balsa wood, mark off the length of that, be about there, and we'll cut that off, just make the capping about that wide. I'm going to stick that on there. There we go. And then we need a bit down this bit here. A bit more off there, a bit about that length. Right, so that's ready for painting. And for a lot of my scenery painting, I use these little sample pots from Wilkinson's, and this time I'm going to use this grey colour and this very dark colour called Supernova. And the brush I use is a dirty brush, and I use this for most of my scenery painting. And first I'm going to paint it grey. Make the whole thing there grey. Right, now I want to darken it down. I'm just going to take some black, what's in the Supernova, and while the other's still wet, I'll just go straight over it, mess it about a bit. Oh, I think I'd like it a little bit darker than that, so a bit more. See if I can get some of the brush strokes out of that's it. And that's sorry, mixed up enough, isn't it? Two different shades in there. That's good. That's very good. Okay, so that's it. I don't bother to brush out, because the next time I do some painting it gives it more character. So I've got to let that dry now before I can mark the stone on. So in the meantime, it's down to the cellar where we have the tumble dryer. So off we go down there now. Down the stairs to the cellar. Well, the entrance to our cellar is from the outside. So let's go down here. Got the cellar door. There we are, the cellar. And then we have the tumble dryer. And the produce from the tumble dryer is, put some light on, fluff. It comes off the filter, and I save all the fluff in this little plastic bag. Okay, we're back at the workbench with the bag of tumble dryer fluff, and this piece here is vertical also, but I want it to slope a little bit. So what I'm going to do there is take some paper, scrunch it up, and use plaster of Paris bandage over the top. So let's get that done now. Right, so I've got my tray of water. I've cut up some plaster of Paris bandage, and I've got two pieces here of kitchen roll. I'm just going to scrunch those up like that, and that will be along there somewhere. We'll just get some tape, tape that on, get it off my fingers first. I'll do that. there. Good stuff this, and I've had it on for real a couple of times when I've broken my arms, and first time I was on for 16 weeks. I was out in Kenya, and I was swinging. I was sort of 11 years old, and I was swinging on a vine, and the vine broke, and I fell, and I landed with my elbow between two logs, and the vine just was a big one. It just went over and broke my arm. I stood up, and my arm came here, and this lot here was just dangling down there. I knew I'd broken it. My father made a splint out of some sticks and some string, and we drove then about 60 miles over dirt roads to the nearest hospital so I could get it sorted. It was painful. Anyway, now we have to let that dry, and when it's dry we can use the tumble dryer fluff. So that's it. For now we have to wait. It's time to go and have a vodka mac or a whiskey mac, one or the other. See you later. Okay, this paint is dry enough now. I've just got a black pen, and I'm going to start making the stonework. Like so. I'll draw it on. A little bit tedious, but never mind. It all has to be done. Well, because that's a little bit too sharp, I'm just going to give it a quick general brush over with a dry brush, take some of the shine off it, and that's beginning to look a little bit better. So we'll call that lot done for the moment, and I'll have a drop more of vodka back. Good. Now this end still isn't dry properly yet, but that's okay. It's dry enough for me to do the next stage on that, which is to put the tumble dryer fluff on. Alright, so what I've done, I've mixed myself up a little pot of 50% water and PVA glue, and I'm using the same dirty old scenery brush that I use for the wall, and now I'm just going to paint that onto the surface like that. And then, having done a little bit like so, take some of the tumble dryer fluff, take out the dog hairs, and spread it out a little bit. Dab it on, dab it into the wet PVA water glue, and that's sort of muck it about a little bit with a few more dog hairs there. And then when you've got it spread out a little bit, let the brush or PVA and just work it in. And then you start to get the contour of the rocks and the dirt and everything else that makes up that little cliff face. Well, it's not a cliff really, it's a banking, isn't it? The bank. Or as they say in the Midlands of England, the bonk. You've got to go down the bonk. So we'll just dab a bit more in there. Right, now because the forest floor wouldn't be flat, dead flat like that, I'm going to do the same thing over the forest floor. Just loads of PVA glue. And that will just give a bit of shape to the forest floor, that will. Now we need to give it a base colour, so I'm going to use brown. Again, using the Wilco sample paints, the emulsion, and now we'll just give the whole thing a base colour. And I'm doing it while the PVA glue is still wet because it will all dry together. Oh, it's coming on. Now we'll get some of that very dark supernova, and without cleaning the brush out, just rub a bit of that on. And you can start to see the thing now coming to life, more like a bank, and when we get some greenery on there as well, that'll be looking good. Darker in the under the forest. Right, now that we really will have to let dry completely before we do any more. So go and watch a bit of telly or have another drink or anything to pass the time away. So that's as far as we're getting for the moment. Well, there it is now drying, and if you'd like to see how it works out when it's in place over there, then you'll have to watch the next video because this one's getting too long. So thanks for watching so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.